Hello there everyone. I felt it was time to do something a little bit different, for in truth, I was having a serious itch to play some Bloodbowl 2, and I think this warrants an opportunity for it. And basically what Bloodbowl is it's basically the fantasy version of Warhammer with a little bit of a twist. I don't know the specific rules if it's like a different universe, but nonetheless, this is the fantasy version of Warhammer for those who happen to watch my Battlefleet Gothic videos. We're going to be playing a very violent game of rugby, even more violent than that I would argue. But nonetheless, I am going to play as my classic type of Ancient Predators, my Lizardmen, a brand new squad at least, not the level up version that I did way back on release day of Bloodbowl 2. But what I'm hoping to do for those who don't understand what's going on is I'm going to give a very brief and very quick overview on the mechanics. This is the squad as you already know. I have 6 of these giant sources that you saw in the front. A big guy called the Croxagore who's meant to kind of tie up and do a lot of damage to everything in the middle of the field, with the sources kind of being my front line for everything else. And then I have the Skinks to serve as kind of like the ones grabbing the ball and trying to run across the field ideally. For they're very fragile and don't want to get anywhere near my opponent, ideally. But as the really simple thing, the really good thing about this squad is they're pretty simplistic. All these abilities here, their skills are pretty empty for the sources, so they just got raw stats going for them. So it's easy to understand what they're capable of, and like I hinted at before, the Skinks here, the little guys, are fragile, and it's emphasized by the fact that they have dodge here and the stunty trait, which just compounds on how fragile they are. They're just a little more susceptible to take damage, and they have the ability to dodge opponents really well in combination with this dodge trait, which simply put allows them to re-roll any evasive maneuvers they may attempt to do. But I'll explain more on that as we go through our match itself. Hell, I'm expecting to be a massive underdog since when I did my original videos, I think I only did 7 matches, and that was like 3 years ago. I did take a little bit of time to understand the strategy of the Lizardmen. It's another thing entirely to try and put that into practice. But with that said, I'm going to explain very quickly the basic mechanics of the match, and hopefully we'll just grab ourselves. Holy crap, I didn't realize they had... Well, I guess I just recently got the Legendary Edition, so that might be why. But otherwise, I'm just going to quickly go over the basics. It's only going to be a minute or two. I'm not going to make it very long-winded like I'm prone to doing with my other videos that I used to do. And if by chance this is your first time seeing my channel, then I do a lot of Battlefleet Gothic videos, which is basically a real-time strategy type of game in the Warhammer 40k universe, involving a lot of tall ship combat. So, hopefully, I provide a good show for those who are new to this channel. But nonetheless, this is squad here, their opponents, let's see, everything is basically almost entirely based on a 6-sided dice. We're going to be rolling 2 different versions of those type of dice. One for doing damage to my opponent, and one for just general momentum. And like, yeah, you can even see it down here. If there's events on every type of start of the battle, even that coin toss we just saw. And there's going to be a lot of D6s with occasional D4s or D8s that determine scatter on like the ball that when it gets shot. But nonetheless, the humans are pretty straightforward. They have average stats, average strength, with a few kind of specialist type units like these blitzers that are meant for charging and doing attacks. Whereas these linemen have no traits to them, so they're a little more vulnerable. Then they have the runners and passers, which actually, I can activate these traits by hitting control enough. It helps if it shows them. There we go. It makes it a little bit easier, so I gotta stop moving the camera if I want to show it. So, and there's the runner back there. Otherwise, let's get an actual match going. It's going to be very quick, very simple. There's not a lot to it. Like I said, the dice is going to determine how this scatters, so just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to kick in the middle. Hopefully it doesn't go off field, and every time you do a kickoff or at the end of the event, there's a chance for something to happen. In this case, I can make a new defense, it looks like. So I can readjust this based on what my opponent does. And it even shows the results down here. And if I click, we could get a more expanded details. Okay, but there's the scatter there. I'm assuming, yeah, that looks like a D4. But everything else aside for the scatter of this dice is going to be a D6. It's pretty simplistic, but I was kind of hoping to be the attacker. So we might see how the attacks themselves play off, but you can easily tell the movement here. These grids are very self-explanatory, so these sources have 6 movement, can basically move 6 spaces per turn. And there's a total of 16 turns, what you see on the left and right here is basically the first half, and then we'll have a second half afterwards, which is the remaining 8 turns for both sides. I guess my opponent's gonna play chicken and not actually attack me, even with this dang giant ogre. There we go. These are the 6-sided dice. These are unique only to like bashing and doing attacks. In those cases, those POWs are the equivalent of rolling a 6, where they're always gonna knock down the person that's being attacked. There's also a bunch of other different faces there, different icons, so I'll explain a little bit more now we have an opportunity to play. But, simply put, like I said, 6-sided dice, there's 2 of those blue arrow icons, one of the skulls, there's one of the POW and the skull that you see there, and then one of that regular POW icon we saw before. And then there's one other icon which you can't really see, but it's a Defender Stumbles, which basically knocks them down unless they have a special ability. This is used almost exclusively, yeah, it's not even used in any other regard, but just for attacks themselves. But since I have 2 dice, which is dictated by me having more strength than my opponent here, I can pick and choose which one I want. And we have a number of rerolls. In my case, for my team, I'm only going to have access to 2 rolls. But I'm going to take the POW, because why the hell not? Knock them down on their ass, maybe cause some damage. Since this armor value, every time they get knocked down, every time I roll higher than 8 armor, it says there I need a 9+, there's a chance on either injuring them or knocking them out. Or just stunning them ideally, realistically, for the turn. And the reason you're seeing the red dice there is because my opponent, this ogre, with the assist that's right next to him, from this one guy here, he actually has more strength than me. So those red dice are just meaning that my opponent actually gets to choose the dice. You almost never want to do this unless you have the skills to kind of mitigate the results heavily. Otherwise, only other thing to really know as far as the basic mechanics, I'll talk about these unique traits based on the opponents we're facing off against. But these tackle zones here, anytime I try and run away, I have to dodge based on my agility, which is really bad for the sources. I never want to do that, ideally. But for my skinks, that's a different story altogether. And when you factor in the dodge allows me to reroll, they're very reliable, even if it is only a 3+. So, my skinks generally are the ball runners. They want to grab the ball and try to avoid the engagements. And my sources are the ones to protect them and beat everything up. So, that is going to be the basics. We'll worry about the more finite type of traits like my Croxagore is the only one with really complex abilities. He wants to tie people up. The more the merrier, since his tail allows people to have a hard time dodging out, and we're about to run out of time. I don't care. We did what was needed. Hopefully that's a basic enough explanation. I'm astonished. You know, I was about to praise myself for being quick on a description, describing or at least explaining how a game is supposed to play in less than 5 minutes, and then I go and quit the game entirely and cut myself out mid-sentence, so clearly we can't have a flawless recording, can we now? But hopefully that gave the gist of the basic mechanics, and like I said, I'm going to talk about the more advanced type of more specific stuff based on what kind of opponent we're playing as, and hopefully I don't get screwed over horribly, since I don't quite know how to best get the use out of the inducements, which is an interesting factor you need to keep in mind. Since my T value is explained up here, as my units get leveled up and you can actually get experience and level them up, and on the other end of the spectrum you can actually get permanent injuries that either reduce their stats or get them killed outright, and that will be reflected in both the levels and the team value up here. So if my opponent has higher team score, I actually get more money for that match itself. I don't get to keep it, so I can't hoard it, so I have to use that money for like additional bonuses to help balance things out. Which is an interesting factor that would be really interesting to see if that ever gets implemented into Battlefield Gothic in some form, because that could have used it, I would argue, would have helped. It would definitely made things dynamic and interesting for Armada 1 at least, since that had a leveling system as well. And it did have that to a limited extent with the Admiral levels, but the ship levels themselves never accounted for the team value, or the fleet the fleet point score is what I'm going to call it, since this is a very similar system. The big difference is turn-based as opposed to real-time. But I got on long enough. I have no idea how long this is going to go, but as far as the queue, but since I'm doing the open main Cyanide ladder, the producers, Cabal Fission, the official ladder, I should get some opponent. I just don't know how outmatched I'm going to be, so wish me luck on this matter. Interestingly enough, I'm not going to be horribly outmatched, but we are dealing with what would be dubbed as a bashy team. And what they're not quite a built-up team. I wish I could actually check what the squad is. I thought there was a way to do it, maybe I'm wrong. But since I have a higher score than my opponent, I get no petty cash as it's dubbed. Well, they get a journeyman. So they had a number of matches. I just would love to actually see what the squad is. I thought it was possible maybe that's more tournament matches where you get to see your designated opponent ahead of time. But a journeyman emphasizes they played a couple matches. Maybe only 2 or 3, mind you. So it's probably not a very experienced team with a lot of casualties. One journeyman, that's basically an extra player you get for free, essentially. If you don't have 11 players on the field due to deaths or permanent injuries or other myriad of reasons. Nonetheless, we are playing up against Nurgle, and it goes without saying, they are infested. Hell, I think one of their traits even, if those big armored Chaos Warriors or even their Goatmen there ever kill me, one of my units, I think they get a free player, or free rotter, which are those little zombie-like fellas, for free, if they ever kill one of my guys. So, it goes without saying I want to avoid being punished horribly. And I apologize for this little staggering. My recording is going at a constant 30 frames, I just don't know what's causing that minor hitching. Since it isn't, my recording itself isn't actually dropping as weird as it may sound. Nonetheless, it's a bashy team, I don't get to pick, but this is my first time playing against Nurgle, but like I said, they're all about infestation. Let's see, Nurgle's Rot. Yeah, this is the trait that if they kill me, I have to pick a stance. So I think I play a safe route, which is the ceremonial safety. The idea is here, at least from the guides I read, is that it protects me from potential aggressive fouling, where they try and knock out or kill my players earlier, and this wire stance is supposed to be good for speedy teams. So I think I'm going to play it this way. I don't see anything that's leveled up, aside from I could go over them quickly. The inconvenient thing is actually my frame rate recorder. What I use to keep track of my frame rates actually covering over what level they are on the left, so that's something I'll have to change for next time. But I think I'm set here. Everything's level 1. They maybe got some experience. Yeah, a little bit of experience, so this could be a fair game. I don't know if they bought anything with their petty cash, though, now that I try and think on it. Nothing that I could tell. We both get 2 rerolls. Let me try and remember this. Foul appearance, so if I ever attack them, I have to roll a dice first, and if I get a 1, I fail the attack. Disturbing presence, that's this aura effect. That gives me penalties for anything I do with the ball. And then regeneration, even if I injure them, there's a chance they can recover from that wound and not be permanently out. It's hard for me to explain the mindset of a Nurgle player since this is my first time actually playing against them. They weren't in the original release version. But I know about Chaos themselves, which they're a bashy team. They require a little bit of leveling up, I think, first, because they don't have the essentials like Claw. Claw, I think, is a way they can they get much more reliable injury effects when they bash someone. Whereas my Lizardmen have incredible armor value, and as you see, rolling 2 dice, they need to roll a 10, 11, or 12 to even possibly break my armor. And they don't have the other skills, and this is their big guy here, which looks ridiculous with that jersey, I might add. And the big guy just represents the one that has the most power, but they have something called nega traits. So Mighty Blow increases the results of doing injuries when they knock me down. Tentacles, I don't know what that is, but you keep moving is ruining my ability to read. I'm going to forget most of this anyway, if I were to be honest. It's going to be the tricky part, especially with the big guys with so many traits. Really stupid, that basically means if he tries to do it, that's what they call a negative trait. I'm trying to read it, but he keeps moving. But simply put, if there's no one near this guy, there's a 50-50 chance that it won't do the order you try and tell them. And there's always a 1 in 6 chance they don't do regardless, even if there's someone there. It's the same for my guy. God damn it. Wow. Nuffle really wants to introduce me to this game. Damn. My Croxagore is out for the entire match right off the bat. That is gonna suck. That is definitely gonna suck. Now, what is my opponent gonna do? Sadly, I don't have my strength anymore, and this Nurgling now has a chance to just hit me outright. And potentially foul because my Croxagore isn't there to prevent that maneuver. This may be... Oh, and that cinematic just introduces... Wow. This is an amazing start. They didn't even have to do any fouling or anything like that. I gotta be a little bit creative with how I'm gonna do this, I suppose. Because that is brutal. I have no trace to help minimize this damage, but those three were supposed to take the hits. Wow. There goes 3 of my main guys on the first turn. All injuries, all brutalized. Thankfully, they're not long-term. I could... The real trick is trying to weather the storm. If I concede, I don't really get any bonuses off this, let alone I don't get the MVP experience gain. Now the question is, how do I play this? Trying to get Bashy is simply put out of the question. The simple truth is. But now, how do I engage this? I got one source out in the middle of nowhere that's easily going to get fouled, which is like just hitting them while they're down, basically put. And let's see, this foul presence, there's not a lot I could do. I'm really screwed right off the offset here. Can we remove this from the recording? Is that a fair thing to do? I can get 1 dice. How do I want to do this? The Skinks needs a support. I need to get more strength than them to at least get a reliable chance with the Devil Dice. How do I go about doing that best? Is the big question. Since I am leaving my Skink vulnerable, and this, with the luck I've been having, this could be a 1. I got a POW. I need something good. Is Nuffle gonna bless me with this? No. And I'm really terrified of picking him up just to get bashed down again. There's not a lot I can do here. This is rough. I want my sources together to kind of minimize the damage. I use my Blitz, and ideally I kind of don't want. Yeah, this Blitz is a one-time... You can only do this once a turn. It allows someone to move and attack at the same time. Otherwise, it just won't let me do an attack. This probably is going to be a very easy touchdown for my opponent. Although a lot of opponents like to stall it out, especially with such a advantage. And my Skinks are so vulnerable to getting beaten up too. So I don't know how I'm going to play this out. Since that's what these guys are going to do now that I have no real coverage anymore. I think I have to dare try and pick him up. I have to dare. All I can really do is weather the storm, I think. Try and get some momentum going, and... honestly, I don't know what else to say. This is an abysmal start. And... what is it? These goatmen basically have a trait. If they're the blitzer, they get +1 to their strength. So there's no way I can balance that out in any form. These guys are just really damn vulnerable. Is the simple truth of the matter. I just gotta wait and try and see. Wait and see if they make a move. Is all I could do here. The only thing I could be thankful for so far is all those injuries did not result in permanent penalties. They will be back for next game, but they are out for this match alone. I am not getting them back, whereas if they were knocked out, there's a chance they can recover. Otherwise, all my Skinks are really vulnerable because I can't protect them since I lost 3 of my heavy hitters, my main front line, which is effectively half of them in the first turn. Here comes the Blitz. Alright, Stumble. That's what that apostrophe symbol is. Nope, that's only a stun, thankfully. It would give me a notification right away if it was something else. So he's out for the turn, is what that means. Double pow. The rolls are really good in this regard. And since that's a big guy, thankfully, no permanent results. And I at least can do some hitting next turn, maybe. Since they used their blitz, they moved. Is a question of how can I maximize damage. Since I don't think my opponent cares for the ball too much. Again, they're a bashy team, and with the experience they just got, I'm going to need to get some injuries to help balance it out. Which isn't likely to happen. They got the ball. 3+, I guess I consider myself lucky getting that end, no, or was it, having a bad roll for the first turn. But there's very little I could do about this. My skinks can easily dodge out. I'm just basically getting sandwiched. Now, how's the best do this? I need to get some modifiers. I could pick you up. I would like to blitz with you. It may... Okay, I can get dice here and then start juggling. And by juggling, I mean, if I were to bash him, push him. These 3 spaces are already occupied, so... I need to get something going. Since I am stuck here, all I can really do is take the beating. And let me just knock you back. Out of the way, since you are kind of a small fry. Do I follow? I think I follow. There, that juggles that out a bit. I get 2 dice there. Red dice there, alas. But a lot of that is due to this fella here in the way. And a push, unfortunately. But it gives me some wiggle room. I get a dice there. So, I do have a reroll. So I think I gamble to try and at least force a blitz on this thing. Because it's really stupid. Oh, and then I get foul appearance, so... Thankfully that does not result in ending my turn, but it definitely does not help me in any regard. And I could go after the ball. I need to kind of at least have some means to intercept. And thankfully my skinks are pretty well equipped for dodging. And I can't actually blitz, so I'm gonna have to use these just mainly to intercept. Is really all I could do, and you can reliably get on out. Due to the stunty trait, no matter where I go, there's always going to be a 3+, where there would be increasing penalties if they weren't stunty, but again, if they ever get knocked down, they're more likely to get injured. I should just try and get this over with quickly, is the simple truth. Hope my opponent can make some mistakes, because safe to say they're feeling really cocky right now. Let's see. There, stunty, dodge. I might regret this. It's how easy it is for him to get strengths, even without a blitz. The idea is here to try and force him to kind of split some units over. Ideally, might be a mistake. Giving him an extra bash is essentially what it is. But simply put, I don't feel good about my predicament. But these guys have armor, but little good it did for us, did it? And you're gonna... Okay. Push the safety there. The big guy's yet to go, though. Got the POW, sadly. But only one direction you can push him. Oh boy. Survive! Nurse done. I can deal with that some. But the Mighty Blow definitely makes things worse. That was the 9 they... Yeah, the Mighty Blow alone made that armor break possible. Let's see, another POW. Hang in there, guys. I'll consider this a success of some sort if I can make it out of this without serious injuries, which is going to be a tall order. Now, I'm curious what the ball carrier is going to do. Alright, blitz. This might suck, but I do... keep getting the POWs, dang it. It's really a 1 in 6 chance for each dice to get the guaranteed knockdown. And these guys are really with the dodge, they really do need a 1 in 6 chance unless they want to risk their guy falling down. At least for each individual dice. Now the question is, can I do anything about this? If I can get some additional strength, that's the trick. Double down. Maybe that could go in my favor. Nope, I got the stun. Due to my weaker armor and all that. And since that was basically their last move anyway, it's not a big deal for that to be a double knockdown. What I need to do is kind of minimize the amount of bashes I could take. Is there any way I get 1 strength here, but I'm going to need a second one is the problem, which, since these guys are assisting, and now this spot's kind of taken up because my skink's stunned, it's impossible for me to get the 3 strength I need. So I'm kind of forced to let this guy I'm forced to let this guy roam free for the time being. And right now my dice options are not very impressive. I could have blitzed and maybe got an attack in, but I am all sorts of screwed, simply put. What I can do is just try and knock back down one of these rotters and at least start blocking this one guy here, making it difficult for him to touch down, but this is not a situation you want, especially for a single dice. Double down. I'm gonna have to reroll. I don't want to end my turn preemptively. Push I'm okay with. And I'll try and dodge back. Just try and slow him down. The red dice means my opponent has to choose, and since I can't really balance it out, I can't even get a 1 dice on just this, so I'm all sorts of screwed right now. I'm gonna stand through. I have faith. It's really difficult to actually get permanent injuries, even if that result happens. But boy, is my opponent gonna get really damn fed. And that's like the best result I could ask for. It keeps me safe from all the other bashes. It's 1 chaos guy. Ooh, another push, so that puts me back into the chaos. Well, this is gonna get amusing, isn't it? Defender stumbles, so that's gonna knock me down. Can I avoid a touchdown of some sort, though? It's the big thing. Since this guy needs to use a blitz, double skulls, force to reroll, double push, so big thing, no more rerolls on him. So if my opponent gets greedy or gets bad luck, which I'm kind of due for my opponent getting some form of bad luck, then that can give me a good momentum swing. And there's something I didn't talk about, is the going for it. If you can do additional moves after your base movement level, but you have to roll a dice to do it. Up to 2 movement. So my sources could potentially move up to 8 spaces, but for those 2 additional spaces, if I ever roll a 1, they get knocked down. It ends the turn immediately. This is going... I have no words for this. I have no words at all. This is, in all honesty, I shouldn't be surprised. Nuffle is trying to welcome me to this damn game, isn't he? That's basically the god of the dice rolls. He did not bless me with good luck, or he's just giving me a proper welcome. And I guess I am gonna welcome that embrace. And here comes that was a foul icon. You could tell if they fouled or are planning to foul. Yeah, with that kick. So now it's a question if my opponent's gonna do it. Has some respect. Someone feels sorry for me. I don't know if I should feel good about this. And my skink can easily move on out. It's just a question of how to best do this. What I need to do is get up with these guys first. It's probably a stupid idea, but I need to at least tie these guys up some. We're only halfway through the first half. The sad thing is. I would love to knock you down. I could push my skink to some relative safety, and I still have a reroll. Is that really the best choice? Better odds on... Same odds on something that's even more valuable to my opponent. And then I get the foul appearance. So maybe that was a mistake, because I don't think these zombies... Oh, they get foul appearance as well, never mind. Oh no, actually I'm wrong. It's if they get a kill. I do get a dice. No, I don't. I get red dice. You can... All I can really do is try and tie him up. And my skink's better off just running. It is 2 dodges, but I do get a reroll. It's worth trying. Failed the second one. Wait a minute. How come I'm able to reroll? I should not be allowed to reroll because, of course, it's dodge. Unless there's tackle I'm not aware of? Only reason I should... Normally, the reason dodge is there is because it's a reroll, but I should not be able to do what they call the coach reroll, which is what I just spent. So I'm a little weirded out there, in all seriousness. I don't know what to make of that. That even allowed me to do the reroll. Oh, is it yeah. However, the player may only reroll 1 failed dodge roll. Oh, per turn. Oh, that's why I failed the first attempt. That explains it. So that was even bad luck there in that regard, to an extent. And I might as well protect my guys best I can. Try to. Wow. That was 3 dodge rolls I missed out on. Since everyone... I didn't know about the once a move or once a turn for each skink, but the fact that I failed there twice, and then failed it twice here, it's following through with the current theme, isn't it? It's the current theme of what we've seen on the first turn. But these sources are tying them up. If nothing else. I just wish I had that reroll for something more practical. I just didn't think that dodge could only be used once per movement, so it just means I can't get greedy. So there's something I've learned. No reroll, so you have to take it. Wow. This is a brutal start. The butcher just got butchered. I want to commit to this. It's not like I want to start off with a brand new squad, right? But it's easy enough to just start a new squad, but I gone in here with the mindset of just progressing through and actually level up a squad, but I'm not going to have a squad at this rate, am I? It's what it's rapidly turning into. The big question is, can I actually win? As silly as that may seem at this rate. Since I lost 4 of my main fighters, my main guys so far. I can knock you down, but I have no rerolls. But I can get 2 dice to help justify that. I still have to dodge, though. This could backfire. I'm trying to gamble the odds a tiny bit. And I do get 1 dice there, but of course that's a little bit risky, so I want to play this proper first and focus on the ball carrier. I thought actually adding, well, even though I didn't really give them original names, I want to stick with the theme of them having lizard-like names, because that's what I did for my lizardman army I was trying to make for fantasy when I looked into it. I even named my own, was it my Old Blood Scarf Veteran, was it? But it was still lizardman type of name, so I feel like that still counts, right? And I want to continue with the theme with these guys. The ball goes down. It's in a bad spot. I would have liked it to go here or potentially here. And I shouldn't have followed up because, okay, I could have got... Actually, I'm wrong. This guy would have denied an assist. It's a gamble, but I need to break free. Which is not that, but... Double down, I did what I could. Given the circumstances. Only thing I would have liked is maybe have this skink at least stand right here next to this ball. Otherwise, this is a mess. I had no opportunity to actually get position just because of half my front line being gone in the first turn. I wouldn't fault you for thinking I should quit now, especially losing a source. But if I can get some good pet cash out of this, I can easily rebuy him back. But I guess the Butcher is permanently gone. I was going to make him my killer. Have the Mighty Blow maybe on level 2. Nope, this could be a stun. Wow. Wow. There's no way I can recover from that there, because my journeymans will only be skinks, I believe. All these rolls. This is just trial by fire, I guess. I'm still going with the fleeting illusion and maybe I can get a victory, a win of some kind. Or just by getting a touchdown with the ball, but I don't have the numbers. I just simply put, don't have the numbers. And I don't even think I got an armor break of any kind. Which limits my options quite a bit. I actually only have 2 swords left, too. Which is going to be a little problematic, to say the least. So let's push you out. Clear up some space, and you're actually going to stay there. In all seriousness, I should keep the sources down. Since it's the... But I want to kind of tie these up. I'm still thinking for maybe getting some kind of touchdown next turn, but without the numbers, it's not likely to happen. And I can get... It's possible for me to maybe get the dice I want. No, that's not possible. I can only really block. I didn't realize that was a go for it. I don't recall seeing a go for it on that in any form. God damn it. If I knew it was a go for it, I probably would have done another move. I know getting up takes up 3 movement points, but damn. Since, yeah, that would have been 5 moves there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it was 2 go fors, 2 GFIs, but damn. I got the 1 on the first attempt. 3 dice there, double down. Karnox is injured. Miss next game. It's looking like I'm going to have to restart. Restart squad, but hey. I guess this is appropriate. Having this as a video. It's not a pleasant one to watch, I wouldn't argue. Since there's no way to recover from this, I should automatically concede now, but the skinks are slippery. The skinks, I just don't have the numbers anymore. It's just not possible. I probably should have conceded. Especially on the turn 1, that might have been a smart choice, but again, this is the very first match. I can remake the squad, I suppose. At least the dodge didn't fail there. I guess I got that going for me. And it's going to be really easy for my opponent to actually touchdown, alas. They have 1 turn left. They're going to try and go... What kind of movement they have? 6. I think I know what I want to do here. What I'm going to attempt to do. Nope, not happening. I was going to bash, try and cover up my flanks, and not meant to be. Since that blitz would have allowed me to attack and keep on moving, and ideally I would have liked to have cover up this spot. But as it stands now, all my opponent has to do is blitz, knock one of these skinks out of the way, and then just go for a touchdown, since I don't think they have the movement to just go around this way and get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's possible. It's possible, but they would have to make dice rolls for it. Unless I get lucky with a bad dice roll, maybe. Not with horns, though. So, you are not going to fall through and you're just going to go touchdown, aren't you? So not much I could do there. That's a guaranteed touchdown. That is brutal. What a welcome to Bloodbowl. At the end of the day, it is just... I guess it's the proper, what is it? The proper introduction back, I suppose. Will we have an AR away in all seriousness? And look at that. Down, 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 down. They're supposed to be extra resilient, and they're just falling over. I guess that just means they're out of practice, good God. Maybe I should just concede at the very final turn just so my opponent could get 2 MVPs, since this squad's not going to need them anymore. Can I get some kind of moral victory, though? Probably not. All I really have going for me is trying to get some bashing in of some kind. Just to return the favor. Otherwise, I don't know what to do with my skinks. Aside for having them at least provide some kind of assist. Which I'm not going to be able to do much of assisting, alas. It's the last turn anyway. At least the last turn is this half. And just think, this is only of this half. So you know there's 8 more turns of this crap. I'm going to want to blitz, try and bash them a little bit, get something in my advantage. Unlikely, but try nonetheless. The SPP is not going to be worth something, but loses 1 point of movement allowance, so that's a big deal. This team may not survive the first match, but by God, I'm at least leaving an impact to my opponent. They're at least going to feel it. Where were these dice when I needed them earlier, huh? Where were these dice when I needed them earlier, huh? There's not much I could do about this. This turn's pretty much over unless I want to foul. Which is not worth it. I know my opponent seemed like they're having a bad time. They only played 1 match, it seems like, so I have no idea how to play it out. But I think it's safe to say it's nothing compared to my first match. It goes without saying. I think that the amount of injuries kind of points that out. Normally, I should have just immediately conceded, but hell. I'm trying to do a damn recording after all. It would kind of ruin the moment unless I just erase this from history. This, at least, is just hilarious. If nothing else. Now, I'm just wondering how I want to do this, since I'm not going to get any attack of any kind. I'm just wondering how to best... Since I'm just going to be heavily outmatched to an extent, and we only injured a rotter, which doesn't do a whole lot for me. And I don't even have enough people to actually make a cage, which is just surrounding the ball. Hell, that's literally all I can do. I need 3 people on the line. Maybe if I'm lucky, a rock will be thrown on them. Well, it's raining, so now it makes it really difficult for me to pick up the ball. And it's all the way back there. Nuffle continues to bless. My skink's in all sorts of trouble, so I gotta try and do some bashing. Leave some kind of impression. Now here, let's see the one. No one, thankfully. Oh, and I didn't want to... Yeah, actually I want the skink there. It allows me to get my dice. You can pick up the ball. We'll have to see what happens there next turn. And you can make a dodge for... It's not a good idea, mind you, but my skinks are already all sorts of screwed. I just never got a chance to play a proper game, and good God. I'm sick and tired of you. And you didn't even get a stupid result at all during that half. So that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, it would be a 3+ to pick this up, but due to the rain, ooh, I actually get it. I'm gonna fight to the bitter end, just for the hilarity of it, but this, I don't think we could consider this a real match, simply put. I think it's just with it all said, even outside the hilarity, it's still an appropriate welcome. Since this is a pretty intense game, this is not for the faint of heart. I think we've seen that. Imagine if my skinks, imagine if my swords were had several levels in and they died like that. Thankfully there is an apothecary that allows I can only use it once, but at least it would allow for me to deny a permanent injury or at least them getting killed to some extent. But with the injuries we're having just right off the bat, 2 deaths, 3 injuries at the start, it was meant to be bad. What else is there to say? I gave him some good punches there, but now we're just gonna get surrounded. I think my opponent's just gonna let me try and touch down with the ball. If they're feeling generous. Probably not. I'm seriously doubting that be the case, but even if I were to tie it, I don't think I would be excited for the prospect, because now I can't protect the skink. It's the problem. But I can bash my way out over to the left, which I think I'm going to try and do. It's not going to be pleasant, though. There, we get the POW there. That's always a good start. Don't quite get the assist or anything like that, but I do get a 1 dice. At least free myself from this dang nurgling thing. At least help minimize the injuries a little bit. Now, the downside is I didn't really think too much on it. I have to make 2 dodges now for this one little skink. And a tentacle too. What does the tentacle do? Because apparently it's a factor here. The player uses skill when attempts to dodge or leap out of any tackle zone. So yeah, if the result is 5 or less. So, I have to roll high. Then it's held firm, and his action ends immediately. I'm gonna have to attempt this regardless. Nope, not much I could do here. Nope, tentacles just ruined my day. This is just getting worse and worse. Oh well. I have no option available. I guess I should concede here now. Try as I might. I just had no momentum at all. There's 3 dice rolls. That's probably the luckiest roll I could have gotten out of that. There may be hope yet. Although, stumbles and both down. Let's see. Gonna take the dodge. That's what the dodge is for. If you get the stumbles, which is with the apostrophe there, Then, if you have dodge, you can evade it. Nope, this one's gonna hurt, is it? Nope, just a stun. Hell, these guys normally have to get leveled up to be as bashy as what's happening here, because they don't, aside for the big guys, which in all honesty, all the big guys have Mighty Blow for doing injuries, they don't really have the skills to help compound on their bashiness the best. Hell, they only have, what, 2 of these Chaos Knights? Or they have 3 of them. Which, in essence, are almost exactly like my Sauruses. I just have more of them. Or, well, that's not true, I did have more of them. But so long as there's hope, if I can get a touchdown, maybe I can hopefully feel confident with a tie. I don't want to give them a win if it's at all possible. It's just going to have to rely on some good dice rolls is all I got. It's all I got. Everyone's knocked down. I could keep them down, but that doesn't help me at all with this touchdown. I need to pick him back up to kind of slow him down, tie him up a bit, because my skink can evade 1 or 2 of them really well. And sadly, I used up all my rerolls too. Got a push there. Doesn't do me much good. Aside for type this one Chaos fellow. And we already know they don't have the strength, in all honesty, to deal with this. I would need to roll... Well, it said 9+ is what it said right off the bat. So I don't have much choices in that matter. And I could go for it. It's not going to help me much. It will seal the deal, at least. It'll seal the deal. Nope. Failed it on the first roll, did I? Try as I might. I'm trying to find it here. Yep, I got a 1 on the first attempt. Even 2 1s on the armor break. Just to emphasize the point, 1 on the scatter. Oh well. I think that's it. I'll give him this last turn. I'll concede now. I have no opportunity. I still want to believe that maybe I could touch down and even get a draw. The skinks can do it, but with the rain, it's very unlikely without a reroll. But it relies entirely on the dice and not my own skill at this point, though. That's a bit of the problem, and these guys are all free to come after me. I have to keep trying, I just don't have much movement. If they pick up, then I really have no choice. I have to keep trying, though. Since this is an expendable team anyway at this point. Which means I'm probably just gonna have to rename everyone. It is what it comes down to. So I can at least get a dice on you and it's probably worth it. Maybe that was a mistake freeing up that one Pestigore. And I just picked up a skink. For some reason I thought that was like a source or something. And this is unlikely to happen. Yeah, I need a 6+ because they're right next to it, so I'm getting penalties to picking up. Never mind the rain. But this would seal the deal. Well, and now what's going to happen is my skink's going to get pushed off the side and they're going to get a guaranteed armor break. Never mind, they're going to be pushed off. They're going to be out of play for this turn, or this half, basically. And suffers an injury as a result. And loses 1 armor value. Like I said, this is an expendable squad, so not a big deal. Only thing I regret is not being able to give you a real match. It's the only thing I really regret, because if you made it through all of this, then I applaud you. There's not really much else to see in all seriousness, is there? There may have been a possibility, but it was getting harder and harder. Maybe I could get injury. Suck it. Nope. Double skulls, defend the attacker down. Wasn't really much that I could do. At least I'm away from Nurgling. This is just good and badly, isn't it? Both down, so that seals the deal there. Oh well. These turns are going to go really fast for me anyway, so I'm not too concerned. If my opponent had a bad match, at least they got redeemed now, I suppose. Or at least they feel like karma is now back in their favor. Which, if it works for my opponent, you would think my next game is going to have the same result, right? I'm gonna need a stress ball or something after this match, good god. The only reason I'm probably staying in this is because I am trying to record this. I was going to give it a serious attempt, and then Nuffle said that's not happening. On turn 1, no less. An injury stunned that rock that stunned my big guy, or at least injured and knocked him out for the entire game. It could have easily been a stun or just a temporary knockout, and they could have came back. Nope. It had to be an injury right off the bat. There was there was nothing else to really say about it, sadly. I do still get 1 dice, but no way. Ooh, it's possible to get a double red dice, but let me just get these guys up and attempt it. Let's see. There's no other way to get through it, so it's only 2 dodges and 3+, but we see how my rolls have been so far. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Yeah, I got a 1 and then I got another 1. You know this is deliberate. This is deliberate Nuffle hacks. Although, Nuffle is the god of dice in this game, so should I be surprised? Should I honestly be surprised? I don't know what Nuffle has against me, but hopefully he's safe for the time being. For the future videos. The future recordings and my sanity depend on it. There's no other way to go about it. At least there's no injuries for these 2 just yet. Which doesn't really matter at this point. We've seen the results. And hell, nah, I'm actually wrong. Those 2 additional source injuries on turn 1 could have been prevented, I was going to say, if my source wasn't knocked out immediately. Because at least he would have occupied that space and kept the others from bashing him. But no, that's not true. It was the first attack that would have dealt with that. I'm going to have to try. I don't have much of a choice in the matter. I have to try, but 9+ is not looking promising, just because of low strengths. Hell, I'm curious, would it be different for my source? Yeah, it actually would be different because of their strengths. So my skinks are like the worst person to deal with the Nurgling. Nope, not happening. I'm gonna have to try to stall it. Oh, now you give me the dodge rolls. Where were they earlier is what I want to know. Don't worry, there's only 3 turns left and now we get the really stupid result. Which, keep in mind, it is a 1 in 6 chance if there's ever a teammate right next to this thing. But it would be 50-50 if I could have separated it. Which actually would make this really damn far... would have made it a really big liability, because that really stupid, as we get that visual glitch, would mean it does absolutely nothing for that turn. Which means I can run around and everything. It's something I could have used if I had a real team. If I had a team that wasn't dead. We'll see. This could easily touch down. It's probably just going to bash me in all seriousness. And since he could still touch down next turn. Nope, actually it would be a go for it attempt. So there's a chance he could fail the touchdown. Thankfully, yeah, you're just going to stand there. I can dodge. I'm going to do one last hurrah. See if I could get some kind of moral victory. It's a victory. I'm going to take it. Despite what you say at this point. But I am literally at a loss of words. I can't talk about the game. Oh, you're going to foul. The reason that's just bad manners is because he doesn't actually get experience if it was an injury. You don't get experience for that. So it's just poor conduct at this point. It would make sense early on if he wanted to knock out any of my big valuable players, but this game's pretty much over. It's just mean. No two ways about it. So I do get a dice with you. I would... that guy is going to get a level up, so I should just bash him for the sake of it. See if I could kill him. But the more pressing issue is to deal with this guy here. It's very unlikely to go in my favor. But at least I could deny a touchdown. Both... that's a shame. If they were both double downs, then at least they could have lost the ball, and that would have gave me the moral victory. It could still fail. Nah, it didn't. Didn't happen. Oh, I was gonna say... Oh, game not found. It's because technically the match is over. That's a shame. I was gonna concede in all seriousness after that attempt, but my opponent never gave me time for it. The reason why that's a big deal is because... Well, let's not go... Now you're just being mean there, Nuffle. I don't even think 90,000 would have given me back my 2 sources, which I would be actually okay with if I could get them both back, since if I could see it, both these MVPs, which I think are randomly generated, never mind the fact that my MVP is also dead, it would have gone to my opponent there, both MVPs. Like I said, Nuffle's being mean. Is it? And like I said, even though I got a 6, you roll a dice to help determine how much money you get, even on a loss. But I don't think that's enough. That's nowhere near enough to get my sources back. I can actually get 1 back potentially, but not 2. Yeah, 80,000. If only one of them died, I actually could have continued on with this squad. Could have. But 2 of them are out for next game anyway. Oh well. If you made it through this, I applaud you. Nuffle is kind to me. He gave me the appropriate welcome, which in all honesty should be a compliment for me, if I'm getting that much hate by Nuffle. Don't ask me what I did to him. Thank you for watching.